Twilight Desert is one of the most tedious dungeons in Season 2. From my opinion, it's throughout the whole entire game as of right now, but it is still one of the most best places to farm for gold. And one of them is farming trees for element stone mats. When element stones were 6 mil in NA server, it's what I've been farming the whole entire time. It's one of the reasons how I got my Lin and my Orisha's armor so fast, including blowing up weapons, as you've seen in some of my videos. These are going to be the locations where you're going to have to farm these trees without interrupting bosses, that is C, G, H, K, and L. If you could pass all those without interrupting any bosses at all, then you'll do just fine farming trees. I don't recommend that you go to E at all. There is one tree over there, but you definitely will be facing Xenon. On the side note, farming normal trees such as orbs will be very useful once Season 3 comes out. From the information that I gathered, orbs will still be useful for level 80 gear, such as weapons and armor. So I recommend that you spam the first room instead, along with if you want to also farm for ores, which is also spammable in the first room in Twilight Desert. I am aware of that there's already a tutorial for farming Twilight Desert trees, which you still need to rely on RNG. I am going to teach you how to bypass RNG. Yeah! Well, kinda. Welcome to Colhen. Colhen has always been your playground. These workstations are one of the keys towards your success in Vindictus. I am going to teach you how to farm in different types of places and dismantle the mats to make element stones of your own. I am going to keep out Armorsmithing since there probably is going to be a lot of level 60, maybe level 70 armor that's going to drop when Season 3 comes out. Plus, I am working on my Orisha to learn every single dismantle skill on every expertise station. This is important to know this since there's going to be new element stones that's going to be coming in once Season 3 arrives. The new element stones infusion will infuse gear up to level 90 to 110. I will link the source down in the description below so you can check it out yourself. In order to make this new element stone, you're going to have to craft this Lambent looking powder that uses the same material to craft the level 80 element stones. As you can tell by the picture, the number has decreased. Instead of 2, it's 1. So you need one of each of these materials to craft this powder. You need 10 powder and 10 catalysts. I believe that is the normal element stone catalyst. So you need 10 of those and 10 of those powder to make the new element stone. I am going to give you, my viewers, a tour around the Vindictus world to give you guys the best locations where you need to farm for these element stone materials. Remember, these are my thoughts and my opinions where these best locations are going to be at. So please, if you do have your own best locations, you are welcome to comment down below and share. This is not meant for everyone because you can get a little bit burnt out from this. But as long as you're motivated and you are determined to actually do it to get your gold where you want you to be at, then you will succeed on doing this. So hop on BlackStoryz bandwagon because you guys are about to be successful if you guys are going to pull this off. The best place to farm for these element stone catalysts is located at the Red Archer that will be at the Power Array entrance. You must have the dismantle expertise on weaponsmithing in order to farm these weapons and dismantle for the element stone catalyst. This is the best place hands down. There is also a place for goldsmithing that I will show you guys on the next scene. This is on hero mode, but I advise you that you do it on hard mode so it'll be a lot faster for you to keep on grinding on this level. So sit back and enjoy the show. Let's move on to Goldsmithing to farm for catalysts. It's not the fastest place, but it is one of the best locations that I could think of. Regrets to Lit is one of the best locations if you want to grind for catalysts for goldsmithing only. This mission is not as fast as Red Archer. You're gonna have to grind this constantly in order to get 2 books at a time, 3 books the maximum if you're lucky enough, but most likely the common book that drops here is the vampire spell books. Now we are going to be moving on to tailoring and armorsmithing. I believe there will be more options to actually dismantle once Season 3 content comes in. Tailoring is going to have cloth, light armor, and heavy armor, while armorsmithing is going to have light armor, heavy, and plate. This is Mylin, Black Nymph. She is an expert on tailoring and she can dismantle cloth for Lambent Powder. From my opinion, tailoring is the hardest expertise skill that you're going to have to learn. Once Season 3 content comes out, tailoring will be at the same level as armorsmithing. My beautiful Lynn will demonstrate where you need to farm for the best place for both tailoring and armorsmithing. This is just for the element stone catalyst only. We will get to the Lambent Powder topic later in the video. Oh, I know you guys are waiting for that for sure. Let's move on. If you have a character that is into tailoring, this is one of the best places to farm, including Bloodlord's hair, which is a break-off. And you could use that hair to craft the homebound blouse. Thank you, Bloodlord. Thank you. Alright, let's go back to Colhen, guys. Alrighty, so we are here in the tailoring workstation. We are going to dismantle our items that we gathered up. As you can see in my inventory, Bloodlord dropped 4 pieces for me to dismantle. 3 of them is cloth and 1 is for light armor. Once Season 3 comes out, you're going to be able to dismantle the light armor piece as well. The same will go for armorsmithing except for cloth. But as of right now, let's get started with the dismantle for the cloth only. Keep in mind, you guys, not every single armor piece can be dismantled. For example, the Sweetie Bear pants. It drops in the giant polar bear like Tyrant. You cannot dismantle that item. There's different types of armor pieces that you cannot dismantle. Just stick to Bloodlord. It's the fastest way to farm for catalysts for tailoring and armorsmithing, unless you have a favorite dungeon that you feel comfortable doing. First of all, before I continue where I left off, I want to let you guys know that I do not put all my gold into my main account. If you are very serious in Vindictus and you want to make gold, you can't put everything in one basket. I made this very clear on the first gold guide. Make different accounts. Add as many alts as you can and put your income, put all your gold in there. And when you do make your private account, do not add anybody, do not speak to anybody, and do not stay in channel 1. This is to protect yourself and to put your secret stash away. The only ones that can see your account and see what you really have in there is you, and I'm pretty sure Nexon could see it. I've heard a lot of stories about people getting hacked and losing everything. So it's best to make a backup account that is private for you only to stash up everything. I want to make myself clear on that. Okay, so moving on. As you guys can see, the weapons in my inventory from my far right, these are the weapons that dropped in Red Archer. This also includes my Arisha's drop as well, combined to mines. Same goes for the books from Regret Too Late. So far I only have 2. I am going to dismount all these items to get my catalyst. And before I move on, I want to share to you guys, and this is also very important for me to tell you this so you guys would know. And be aware of this knowledge if you don't know yet. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go to talents. As you can see in my talents list, I got cooking, I got gathering, I got weaponsmithing. It's all maxed out. This is also weaponsmithing for dismantle. It's maxed out. And also for element stones. But I also got another dismantle skill. Yes, before weaponsmithing, Black was into goldsmithing, and I got her dismantling skill maxed out from that. Little did I know, once you unlearn the expertise skill, you can still keep the dismantle skill that you learned from that expertise. So you can learn all 4 dismantle skill, as long as you done all 4 first and you pick 1 expertise skill for your character. So far, Black only learned 2 from goldsmithing and weaponsmithing. I'm gonna let my Arisha take in 4 of them, so it'll be more helpful for me and benefit for my characters and for what I have to do in Vindictus. Ha! So hey, are you happy? You can learn all 4 if you want, and 1 character. My EV Black knows how to dismantle books, staffs, and bows, so we're gonna dismantle these books right now. Remember, you have to learn goldsmithing dismantle in order to do this. Now that we got the catalyst farming done, we are going to move on to Element Shards and Spirit Water. There's only a few dungeons that drops level 56 weapons to level 60. These are both in Colhen and in Rochest, including for the Spirit Water. But what if I could tell you could hit 2 birds with 1 stone? Yes, there is a dungeon that could drop you Spirit Water and Element Shards, and from my opinion, it's one of the most easiest to farm. Oh, and one more thing, run naked. Fight That Must Be Won is one of my favorite dungeons to farm. You can farm for these weapons and dismantle them, and you can also farm for wild berries. Wild berries are meant for side quest items, I believe, and they sell in a really good price for now. I recommend that you farm this at normal or even hard mode, but in hero mode, it's just meaningless. Unless you could cut through this dungeon so fast with a plus 15 level 80 or a plus 15 level 90 weapon. Heck, you could still do it with a plus 10. I believe in speed. If you could finish a dungeon around 5 minutes or less in Season 1, whatever your mats that you're really farming for that is worth it, worth selling, then you will make progress. Alright, and I'm back, and I guess the game is getting ready for Season 3. Alright, let me check my mail and get what I need. It was that spell sword that I crafted from last night, and I sold it for 2.4 million. So yeah, people are still buying level 60s and level 70 weapons for millions. It doesn't even matter if it's 1 mil or 2 mil. If you keep on selling, then you will make profit. You will make some gold. Plus, it will help the new players along the way. Alright, and we are going to dismantle the weapons, ranged weapons, and others for some element shards and spirit water. I'll give you guys more different locations right after this. This bow drops from defeating Commander Kakarish. You can also farm for mail at the Lost Roads. It is if you're only farming for mail and you want to do it on hero mode just in case. His bows doesn't really drop so often, so you're gonna have to grind constantly. This bow can drop by defeating Explosive Expert Prompush. If you want a fast run, try out another storage room and road chest. I believe he also dropped other weapons as well, such as pillars. Now for this funny looking staff, Parma is the boss that you want to defeat in order to get these staffs, and the mission for this is from Investigation. I advise you that you run it on hard mode, don't run it on hero. He is very annoying on hero mode since he could suck out your stamina by throwing those black balls of stamina death, something like that. And as for this special rainbow spellbook, I do not recommend that you farm this for water. This rainbow spellbook drops from jellies and sewers. And so let's go ahead and get our water. Alright, and we are done with the topic of element shards and spirit water. Let me just sell these beautiful wild berries for a second. They are going to get me some gold on the side, because side mission items always sells like hotcakes. For a reasonable fair price, of course. Alright, there's only 2 wild berries that are selling at the market. That is pretty good. It's either good or it's either very bad. But most likely, if there's no items that are selling, you usually want to sell it first, or be one of the people that are selling it first. Let's make it 100k, 100,000, and so I'm gonna get 300k back. That is good for my repair cost. My price is fair, so I'm gonna just have to wait until the next day or tonight, whoever's gonna buy. Now let's move on to Lambent Powder. This is one of the reasons why I just love to grind for side quest mats or something that you need to craft more frequently, more often, and just sell it in the market. Sure, it's not a level 80 belt that would sell for like, what, 20 mil, but it is money that you could just keep on grinding, keep on gaining more of your income. The more I believe, the more you stack, the more your income will grow. Doesn't really matter how much it costs. What does matter is that if you farm a certain item that really sells, is it worth it? I believe it is. Vindictus gold is nothing but numbers, and numbers can grow into infinite. Anyways, we're going to be moving on to Lambent Powder, and I'll be on my Lin for this topic. As I mentioned earlier, tailoring is one of the most difficult expertise that you're going to have to learn. And right on the side note, even Lambent Powder, you're going to have to craft for it. Unless you want to farm for level 60 gear in Twilight Desert and defeat Commander Icarium for a Raider set or Raider gear. Other than that, no. Same goes for Titan, but I don't know if he drops any cloth armor. I have to research that. But other than that, you guys going to have to wait for Season 3 and see where other dungeons that you're going to have to farm where they drop more level 60 gear or even level 70s. Since tailoring is now going to be upgraded to craft light armor all the way up to heavy. I used to farm for Weeping Queen a lot last year when I was using this method to get my powder. Weeping Queen is a bit tough on hard mode. If you can't do it on hard mode, then go on normal. But all it takes is practice to beat her on hard. Once you practice enough in Weeping Queen, it's just like a breeze. All you do is just kill her and that's it. You're killing her for her mats. And it's going to take a lot of runs to get her webs. The maximum run on this dungeon is 30 runs per day. It is optional. You could make an alt to run this dungeon if you really want to. To do all 30 runs, it takes 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete all 30 runs. Which is not bad, but the RNG of the webs, it takes around 30 runs to get 6. If you're lucky, 10. So if you want to make your progress faster, bring a friend. Or bring an alt with you if you have a second account active to get more webs and more of her mats. You also need Leodisa's sharp claws, and you're going to have to spam for her claws in order to craft one of her mats. She is located at the Nightmare of the Ruins. I would like to give you guys a good advice, a tip, so you won't be wasting your energy and time on crafting materials. Now the best material that you're gonna need to craft is the Queen's Light Glory Boots. Crafting the boots will be your best bet, trust me, because the boots uses less mats than the other armor pieces of the set. It took me a while to unlock the armor pieces from Tailoring, and it will take some time for you too. But at the end of the day, you guys, it is all worth it. Trust me, once you are able to unlock all this armor pieces and your expertise skill, you could spam for a Lambent Powder like it's nothing. But on the other hand, I do agree that it's a lot faster to farm for trees in Twilight Desert to gather all those mats and farm for hours and hours on trees. Most likely you will get powder, but you won't get powder on every run. You won't get straight off just powder, straight off just element shards, or straight off just even magic stones. It will take you some time to constantly grind. But if you want to do it like I do it, I usually just kill bosses and get their mats crafted and just dismantle for the element stone mats for the day. Farming trees for the materials or farming for materials to craft for the mats. The difference between the two is one is no-brainer and the other one, well, brains. Crafting for the mats is a lot time consuming and also a lot of strategizing. At the end of the day, you still get the same results. I know I said I'm not going to be able to do Armorsmithing, and I am working on it at this very moment. But I do believe that you can get the same materials in Weeping Queen, and that is the heavy version of the Queen's Glory armor set. So there you go, you could farm for Weeping Queen's materials and dismantle the armor set for some magic stones, which I find that pretty interesting. So I just wanted to share that to you guys. So I hope that helped you guys, whoever's on Armorsmithing. And it looks like I got a 3-star boots. I'm still going to dismantle it, but usually this armor piece is meant for equipment titles. So it does sell if you want to craft them and sell it, but we are going to be using it for Lambent Powder. And that's pretty much it. All you gotta do is farm Weeping Queen and pretty much just kill her for her webs and materials and just craft the Lambent Powder. You don't really have to go to road chests or anywhere else. But I won't leave you guys completely dry. Pursuit is another option where you could farm for Lambent Powder. There is no limitations on this dungeon, so you could farm like there's no tomorrow. But remember you guys, this boss doesn't drop a lot of loot, especially on hard mode. You're gonna have to grind constantly to get all those materials. in order to craft shoes, in order to craft the pants or the skirts. Either way, he is a very easier boss to kill than Weeping Queen for my opinion. But there's always a but on this one. You're going to have to also get shiny leather, and shiny leather drops out buried sorrows. So once you have all the materials that you need from Pursuit, you're going to have to grind constantly on buried sorrow. And not only that, but other different armor pieces from that set. It comes from different types of bosses depending on what type of armor pieces you're trying to craft, such as the Grey Officer uniform that drops by defeating Prom Push. This is if you want to craft the shoes. As for me, I usually craft the shoes or the pants. As for the gloves, you're going to need the books, shiny leather, and also the Red Officer uniform, which drops by defeating Information Officer Kingle. And that pretty much does it with the Pursuit boss. There is one more boss that I need to mention that is very easy to craft, and that is the Broken Feather Bracers. Titans loot usually drops this materials, the rope lash bone, and logs. So it isn't really a big problem. All you gotta do is go to the market and buy them. As for exquisite leathers and exquisite cloths, you can farm them at a certain dungeon. And I recommend that you run it on hero mode because it's pretty easy. All you gotta do is run through it and then kill the boss. Gatekeeper of the Catacombs is the place where you're gonna want to farm for exquisite cloths and exquisite leathers. They usually drop there on normal and hard, but if you want to run it on hero mode, I do recommend it. You might get fast ES and sell it for extra gold on the side. Heck, if you're farming for fast ES, you won't even notice that you farmed so many exquisite cloths and leathers. So good luck to you guys. I wanted to say thank you guys for watching this video and supporting me by liking my videos and commenting and even helping me by, you know, any little mistake I make, because I do make mistakes here and there. So I really do appreciate it, you guys, and I am so glad, and it's an honor. It's an honor for me to do this for you guys, especially in a game that's not very popular but has one of the best combat systems I ever played in my entire life. For, of course, an MMO game. The Gold Guide 2015-2016 isn't over yet. I'm still going to be making more videos like this this year and next year for Season 3. So this is not the only Gold Guide video I'm going to be making for this whole entire year. I'm going to be making more. So you guys will be more entertained and you guys would know what to do to make more gold. Instead of asking me, I'll just make more videos. Please support my channel by liking this video. This video will help players that are seeking for an answer on YouTube, especially how to make gold faster. Comment your opinions and subscribe if you're new. Happy Memorial Day everyone, and I'll hear from you guys next time.